This is my grandparents' home. Pop died 10 years ago, Nana died last year. My mother grew up in this house. This house for me has so many memories. Today, I want to share with you two things that happened to me in this house. One of them completely influenced who I am today. The other one has kind of inspired how I enjoy my life. Let's go. Welcome to my childhood. We grew up not far from here, but we spent so much of our time down here at my Nana and Pop's house that I think I can safely say that this is probably more my childhood than our house up the road. Look at the lovely chandeliers, tasty, lovely 70s cack. My sister and I stole Kingston cookies from that cupboard. We swam in a pool down in that backyard. We explored caves over in that park. We popped our sick wheelies on our BMX bikes in this garage. My Nana stood on these steps every Wednesday night and waved goodbye as we drove home. I played with my Star Wars figurines in this retro-styled bath. I used to watch Inspector Gadget in this room, right there on a Wednesday afternoon. Fun fact, I also used to watch The Benny Hill Show when I was 4 years old, right here in this room. The Benny Hill Show, because, you know, 80's parenting, I guess. But the one room I loved being in the most was this room, my Pop's old musty shed. This room was dank and cold and scary for me when I was a kid, but exciting as well. Pop was in here. It smelt like Pop's sweat. It smelt like Pop's work, like wood and oil. My Pop did a lot of things in his life. He was a mechanic by trade. He sold cars, he sold trucks, and he did a lot of things for enjoyment. He loved to fish, he loved to go out in the boat, he loved to ski. But one of the things that he loved to do was take photos. And he took his photos with this. This is the Canon FTB Quick Load with the 50mm 1.8 lens. It was built in 1971. And 50 years later, it still works. Let's get into focus and have a listen to this. Oh. Camera ASMR, tasty. The very first photo that I took in my life was on this camera in this room, and it was over in that corner. As a kid who lived his life for 6 years looking on wide angles with my eyeballs, to be looking through a tiny little viewfinder like this and be able to focus on certain things, just completely unleashed a thing in my brain, in my creativity, where I could look at minute little details and find beauty in the absolute mundane of things. In this place, I would take photos of nails, of keys hanging on a door, of light switches, of dirt on the floor, of Pop's hands on tools. And I was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old when I would do it. So that's one thing that Pop inspired within me, a love for the visual arts, and I'm still doing it to this day. It's my profession, it's who I am, it's what I love, looking for beautiful things in beautiful people and showing the world. The next thing that Pop inspired within me was an appreciation for one of the finer things in life, and that's this. When I was 8 years old, I was downstairs here. I still remember. I know I was 8 years old. It was midwinter. It was cold. I could see my breath coming out downstairs here. But I walked in that door and I could smell scotch. I walked over and looked at the scotch, and Pop was doing something at the bench, and he stopped and looked at me and said, "Do you want a taste?" Not knowing what scotch tastes like or even how to drink it, I said, "Yes, please." Gave it a sniff, thought that's terrible. But I took a big mouthful of scotch And Pop started laughing and I took a hard swallow and then I coughed my lungs up. It tasted like I had bitten an old shoe or licked an old saddle or bitten an old branch. And I loved it. He said to me, "Do you want another one?" I said, "Yes, please." I remember it being such a big, earthy, strong taste. And he would drink his scotch in these cups. I don't drink scotch a lot. I will drink a scotch if I am deliberately trying to slow down. I also use scotch to celebrate things. If I've got a client and I've finished a big video and I've got sign off and it's uploaded and live, then I will sit down and I'll have myself a cheeky scotch. Any time of the day, I'll have a scotch if I've got a video launched. But I use scotch to deliberately slow down and deliberately live in that one moment. Scotch and visual arts. Slowing down to enjoy life and being creative. These are the two things that my pop taught me, and this is who I am today. Who helped you to become you? For me, it was my pop. And I'm sad today because this house lays empty. And there you go. Pop's was always fuller than mine. It's recently been sold, and today, the keys are getting exchanged. This is literally the last time I'm going to be in this house. I will never, ever be in this room again. This room, for Pop, he had his hands on nails and wood and steel. And with his muscle, he would create things with materials. And at the same time, he gave me my tool, the camera, to create something from nothing. My grandfather put the tools in my hands that would awaken the creator in me. So to Pop, thanks for the education. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Pop also taught me not to waste a good single malt.